About 2 years, roughly, after completing the sideboard, I was recovered enough to take on the next segment of the dining room that I had envisioned. I wanted to try to come as close as I could to the feeling of some of the magnificent dining rooms that Greene and Greene have done in, like the Blacker House, the Gamble House, the Thorson House, which is in Berkeley, the others in Pasadena. So it was time to take on the table, and this is a copy of the Robinson House table. I made 10 chairs. I have 2 more leaves, each one 2 feet. The weight of the piece, in all the weight of the support of the slides, allows you to have a steady table even though there are no legs at the corners, and even though the base does not split to open like tables usually do, one way or the other. Challenges of this piece were that I had to make my own veneers. This is not solid teak, 1.5 inches thick. That would be pretty prohibitive in cost and unnecessary. And actually, veneers can be more stable anyway. If you use a good veneer and thick enough, not the store-bought, but ones you make yourself, maybe say 1/8 of an inch or give or take 1/16 of an inch thick, and then you glue that to a very stable substrate like medium density fiberboard or something else, then you can get a nice flat surface that's going to stay flat. And that's exactly what I did. So this is my own veneer that I prepared over a substrate. I used Gorilla Glue for those woodworkers who are watching. I found it very good because the Gorilla Glue expands, so that if you're in the spaces between the veneer, if there's any gaps, you know you're going to get coverage. And then I had to create this border. Charles Greene was a collector of tsuba, T-S-U-B-A, which is the Japanese sword guard, the piece that protects your hand when you're putting your sword in the scabbard. And it has this kind of shape. So once you cut the top to that shape, and then you want to put this border, again you have this problem that I described earlier of putting together one piece which has a contour to another piece which has a matching contour. At least you hope it's matching so that there's no gaps in between. I think I was able to carry that out, and it helped that Charles Greene put screws to assist the two stand together when he glued, or his Hall brothers glued the border to the main part of the tabletop. So there's glue between the border and the main part of the tabletop, and screws which have these famous black buttons, ebony buttons. And by getting good clamping, you're able to alter the shape of that border just a little bit and get a nice, close, tight fit. And a few places where it isn't exactly right, I found that epoxy in there, it darkens and you really don't notice it, and you see a little irregularity. It's all the charm of a handmade piece. You don't want to have it look like it came out of a factory where everything has been controlled by machines anyway.